Hey, Pastor Jeff Kingery here with TeeJay, BadNewz, Britton. TeeJay wanting to catch everybody up on kind of the latest, greatest information, revelation, some of the things that have happened in your life, even over the last week or so by the time we're filming this, and that was your debut in Bellator 239 against world champion kickboxer Gabriel Varga. Tell us a little bit about that, man. Let's talk through what's going on in your head, your heart,
Man, I tell you what, just getting a phone call about taking that fight was an eye-opener, but I think the perfect timing in my career, even though I came off, 2 losses and getting knocked out the last fight and then stepping up to fight, the world champion kickboxer was considered one of the best strikers. So, I think it was a big challenge. It was uncomfortable. But I like that. I like to grow in uncomfortable situations. I like to defeat the odds, and that's kind of.
Well, you were certainly the underdog in this fight. What were they? Do you know what the odds were?
I did, I totally forgot.
I want to say they gave you like 11%.
I don't even think it was 11%. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
You were an underdog.
Yeah. But rightfully so. I mean,
hey man, for every Goliath, there's a David. I like to say, man. But like we've said before, man, open doors. Man, when we pray, we ask the Lord to open those doors. He opens the doors. We walk through them. But that doesn't always mean that you're going to walk away with a W. No, it fell that way this time, by the grace of God. It's not going to fall that way every time. We've noted that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last 2 we prayed about, we took. I always say we. By we, I mean you.
And it felt good, But, the thing I can say, Pastor, me and my wife talking about this, if I would have won those last 2 fights, this fight may not even happen. Or even if it still happened, if I would have won those last 2 fights and been 7-0 and then still beat him, it wouldn't have been that much of a talk. But since I took the fight, you know how many people reach out to me and say, you're taking the fight with Gabriel, and you lost your last one bad. Do you understand?
By
striking, And what people don't realize is I was winning the fight, I just got caught. That's the game of MMA, and that's just the dice that we roll.
Now, a lot of people wonder why on this fight in particular, your fight camp, you were kind of flying under the radar. We weren't putting out any video. We weren't really focusing on showing people kind of the way you were preparing. Why is that?
Just a few different things. Number one, we changed up our game plan. And I don't think that's necessarily why we were hiding anything. But the biggest thing is, kind of got banged up during the camp. And so we really wanted to hide that. A lot of the videos had me wrapped up a certain way and things like that. And we wanted to protect me as a fighter with that. It wasn't no pulling out this fight. We knew what we had to do, what we wanted to do. We had a game plan. And I felt like the injuries that I was going through wasn't going to affect the game plan too much. And my coaches felt the same way. You felt the same way. And so we pushed forward.
Plus, I would add to that anytime we do something like this, it takes time away from training.
Absolutely.
And this wasn't a fight that we wanted to take time away from training.
Not at all, man. Listen, I was back in there. My wife said it was a new look in your face. My coaches said it's a new look. I think you said it as well. Listen, I haven't been nervous for a fight since my first professional fight.
Let's get that cat out of the bag. You were a little nervous on this one.
I was. I mean, and rightfully so.
You should be.
Gabriel Varga, world champion, 6-time, world champion holder. And so, but it's one of those things where, I lost that nerve. I kind of, I don't know, maybe I lost a little bit of the fire, being on top of in this area for a while and got humbled the last fight that I was controlling the fight. And the blink of an eye, I was getting off the canvas and lost. And so, it was very humbling, but just fighting someone like that after losing to a striker as well, it made me nervous, but it made me push forward. I was uncomfortable. Every time I thought about it, fighting him, I'll get those nerves, those chills.
It definitely caused, those who were around you, we would talk about the caliber of a striker that he is, and it made us rethink the game plan. And so you plan the work, right? And then you work the plan. Now let's talk about the fact that in working that plan, a lot of people, if they don't know the fight game and they watch that fight, they're like, well, he was up against the fence a lot. It didn't seem like super aggressive. And really, but those who have, and I don't mean to insult anyone in any way, but those who maybe have a what we might call a high fight IQ, understand that was a technical, grinding, energy expending kind of happening there. That's not some punk move when you got someone up against cage holding on to him like that.
No, and I took some elbows, I took a few knees, we knew if we break loose, throw hard, and I know I'm heavy-handed. I know I hit hard. Every fight I've been in, I've damaged every fighter I've ever been in. I've never walked out of a cage and the person I didn't fight didn't have a scratch or a cut or a broken nose or anything. Mm-hmm. So I know I have the power in each hand, But at the same time, it's Gabriel Varga, And so we wanted to grind it. We wanted to take him to, we call it deep water, see if he can swim, And he was very strong. He was very athletic. Mm-hmm. Legs were like tree trunks, in very good shape. Yeah. But I just believe the pressure and the cage awareness and my IQ really helped me out with that.
And if people were paying attention, there were some strikes that were thrown. Man, I'm going to tell you, his eye was nasty looking.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a minute. When do you remember landing that? It was like a glancing almost blow.
Absolutely. And what the funny thing is, after the fight, I was very stunned that he took the punch. I thought I landed a little bit cleaner, but if a half an inch and over to the right, and I think I would have put him down. He was hurt when I hit him. I mean, if you go back and watch it, and I watched the film, and even Big John said, "Man, he clipped him pretty good."
When you say Big John, what do you mean? Who do you mean?
John McCarthy,
yes.
Referee all over.
Yeah.
And he threw the kick. I read the kick, and I sucked in, and I threw the left hand, and him being the great stand-up person, he kind of shifted over a little bit, and I caught him. I caught him pretty good, but I think it give me a half an inch over, and I think, I think he would have felt the difference of the 10-ounce gloves and the 4-ounce gloves a lot more.
Yeah, well, I was actually surprised that the doctor didn't call the fight. It was a pretty significant looking injury to me.
Yeah.
And I think there was a little bit of talk about that even in between rounds, when the doctor came over about it.
Yeah, well, at the end of the second round, I grabbed his hand and I threw 2 or 3 more, and I was trying to reach up to that eye, and the referee had told him, he said, "Hey, we may have to stop this fight. That eye is bad, and I don't like the placement of it." And he said, "Yes, I understand." And so they went to the back. So if you see me, I kind of look over. Normally, I'm always facing the cage away from my opponent. But this time, I kind of look over because I wanted to know what was going on.
Now, real quick, we've been talking for just a little bit. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember everything we've spoken about. But I want to address this hand. This was not like broken on his face or anything, was it?
No.
Yeah.
No,
okay,
not at all.
Okay.
I'd done this about 4 weeks to the fight. I thought I dislocated my pinky, and I ended up having a little break in there, and then I have a boxer's fracture as well.
Okay.
But I don't take anything from that fight.
You don't think it affected your performance?
You know what? Honestly, and I'm being 100% honest, because I hear a lot of fighters say, "Well, I done this, and I could have finished it, whatever." I don't think it changed too much. If it was a week out, that's totally different. Then I have to adjust. But I was about 3.5, 4 weeks out, so I learned to continue to wrap it and go. I learned what grips worked, what grips didn't work, and things like that. So I can't sit here and say that it affected me during that fight.
And it's not going to stop you from fighting in the next month or two.
Listen, if I get a phone call to fight in the next few weeks, I say, give me 3, 4, 5 weeks. I'm going to take the fight.
You'll be ready.
Absolutely.
It's not a 6-month injury. It's a 3 or 4 week injury.
No, the doctors and them at Earth Lab are making sure I'm taking my vitamin, doing the right things, taking the right precautions. I'm ready to go. I tell you, 2020 is a year for vision for us, and me and my wife, we have vision for what we want to do, and I know in the heart what I want to do. We discussed it, and then we're going to stick to the plan unless God says different.
Well, I tell you what, man, I truly believe that that fight was you shocked the world, man, and super proud of you. Like I said, the cards fell in your favor this time. By God's grace, we want to give Him the glory.
Amen.
And as for open doors, do you know if there anything in the future? Or?
I do know it's going to be some things coming my way. I had one come my way today. I talked with management with JT, and we kind of discussed our plan, what we want to do. And, he's always worried about me, and he's saying, "Hey, let's rest that hand for a week or so, and then let's get back and talk about it then."
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, my guy at Bellator, my matchmaker, he's talked to me a few times about, hey, we'll get another one in there. So I'm looking to get back in the cage maybe 2-3 times this year. Okay. Wouldn't mind taking a boxing match.
Okay.
What I'm saying? But I can see me maybe possibly stepping back in the cage for Bellator by the end of the year.
Right on.
Never know.
Yeah. Any final words? Any final shout outs for anything out there that maybe you missed?
Man, all my sponsors, but I want to really just give a big shout out to my wife, Britton, who. She know how big of a fight this was for me. She does a good job taking the stress. She actually designed these shirts herself. You know, and she keeps me pretty. And then also
that's no easy task.
One thing that I never do that I really want to do is I want to just thank my kids. You know, they sacrifice so much. I do so much with ministry, with basketball, with fighting, with preaching, with speaking in schools and motivational speaking and things like that. And my kids never complain. They always push. They're so proud of me. And so I'm just getting a little emotional thinking about it. So I just want to tell them thank you, and I love you guys, all 5 of you guys, and then even my nephews that live with me. You know, I'm their uncle to pour into them, and sometimes I'm going a lot, and they hold it down while I'm gone. And so I'm thankful that, you know, Jeff and Misty Frost, you putting the time in, jiu-jitsu and talking and pouring into me, the text messages right on time, you know. I'm just thankful for that. I got the right people in my corner, so we're ready to make a big move.
Well, man, as we always say, to God be the glory, and God bless you. God bless you, my friend. It's been 10 minutes with TeeJay, BadNewz, Britton. God bless you.